Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going. So hey everyone, welcome back to my second video. I hope you checked out the last one on double majoring in musical theater. So today we're going to be talking about Elon Musical Theater, which I'm super excited about. And we have a whole list of other colleges and schools that I'm going to be interviewing in the next couple weeks. So definitely come back and check those out and leave comments down below about any other programs or topics that you want to discuss. So without further ado, I introduce Jackie Nate. So do you want to tell them where you go? Obviously Elon, but
I go to Elon in North Carolina, and I'm going to be a sophomore. I just finished up my first year of college, which is crazy because I feel like we just went through this process
I know it's insane.
Like they always said oh, enjoy college because it goes by quick. Like it's true. It's such a cliche, but it's so true. I am 19 years old. I'm from Trumbull, Connecticut.
Yes.
And yeah, just excited to be doing this interview.
Yes, no, I'm so excited. So can you tell everyone what both your audition process like for Elon, but then also in general, what is Elon? Do they have pre-screens, supplements, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I think because of Corona, it's all changing this year and everything's going to be done online. But my process, I did 8 schools in total just because it's expensive. And I have a brother and a sister, so we need to spread the money equally. Elon was my first audition. And if I'm going to be honest, when I left there, I was like in tears. I was like, I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to get in anywhere. But it was and it wasn't even like a bad audition day either. I just that was my first audition. I think that's where I got my slap of reality. Like, oh, shit, this is real and this is happening and I'm actually going to pursue this now. But yeah, it's super organized. They give you I think there's 2 times that you can that your whole process starts. It was 9 something and 10 something. I forget which one I was, but they gave me just a little sheet of paper with my agenda for the day. So the first thing I had, well, they do a little panel first and they explain what you're gonna do. And then oh my goodness, I can't remember. I can't remember if they had the panel and questions and Kathy talking and different students talking first, or if I did my dancing first. Honestly, it was a 12-hour or something audition day, and it was just one huge blur. But it was so they made it you feel so at home, and it was so fun, and it was just super organized, low pressure. They talked, the faculty would talk to you, the students there would talk to you. So yeah, the first thing I had was my dance audition. Thought I did terrible.
Do you remember the song or what the style of the dance?
Too darn hot or too damn hot or something like
Too
that.
Too darn hot. That was the song for the season. Every school did it, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mess. I was in a black leotard and red Nike Pros. A girl did not have an audition outfit yet.
Oh my god.
And I think I forgot my character shoes. So for me, the dance audition was just a freaking disaster. And then after that, I rehearsed with my accompanist and I felt a little better.
You get to rehearse with them? That's really nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. And it kind of just running through your songs with an actual piano player, and it was the person who was going to play
the
music.
I did that with Ithaca, and I agree. It takes so much pressure off the audition just to kind of get out those nervous jitters.
Once, and then it's just okay, now I get the nerve singing thingy feeling out, and then I could go into the audition room and just feel more comfortable. And then after I sang, they asked me just where basic question where I was from. They asked me a couple questions about my resume. The number the first thing they said was so where have you taken voice? And then I was just I just haven't. And so they didn't care. They were just okay. And then they were so then when where did you learn how to sing? And my response was literally Sierra Bodges on YouTube. And then they and that was it. And then I did my monologue, and then I left. And for some reason, I think I was just kind of since that was my first audition, I just kind of had a mental breakdown with my mom about how everyone was so good and
yeah. I think that's also though like such a good thing to show people is like you don't need to be perfect. You don't have to have
You
like
don't need to go by
studied
the
with
book
the
at
teacher
all.
for a million years. Like they just want to see a person and they want to see a performer and like what you have to offer. And
Yeah, and Elon's all about like the storytelling. Like that's what comes first. So as long as like you could be belting the highest note you can, like they want to know like, okay, where are you from and what story are you telling and how does this apply to the character in your own life? Which like I really admire because I feel like nowadays it's all about like, okay, like the triple threat, I need to do all three. No, you don't. Like Elon usually like not usually, they I think yeah, no, they definitely do this. I think they like take like whatever score from your singing, dancing, acting, whatever the lowest they drop, and then take like your two highest, and then you
oh,
never find out like what was your lowest and what was your highest,
mm-hmm.
and then like you just work on whatever like you can like take however many dance classes you want a semester as long as you get like the core requirements down by the time you graduate. Like you work on whatever you feel and whatever like the faculty feels that like you need the most help with. Like no one
How
has.
does that work like placement wise though? Because I know like for me at AMDA, there's no actual dance audition to get in. So we audition like the first week for all dance leveling. So for you guys, do they base you off of your dance audition to place you in levels, or do you just have dance like with your class?
So we have DMS, which is like all it's dance musical theater for the stage, and that's taught by I think it was someone else before, but I took it with Deb Leamy, and then we learned original choreography from Chicago. We learned her own choreography from Legally Blonde and Morning Person. So basically, you go in and she teaches you choreography and
Mhm.
from like Broadway shows, and you just like learn it. And then like your midterm is like, okay, like now you have to know all the dances, and she'll just like call one out, and we have to do it. And then for the final, it's like the same thing. So that one's just like all levels, but like everyone in my class is such at a different level. So like that class is not necessarily for like technique. Like yes, we warm up and yes, we'll do across the floor, but it's mainly for the choreography. Like our jazz classes and ballet classes, modern, everything like that, they're all levels. And we didn't like have to like do another dance audition when we got to school. I think they did just base it off of like where we were at that dance audition. So like I know I didn't do too hot, so I got put in a jazz one, and then like some kids were in jazz 3, some were in jazz 2. It just like so yeah, they like place you. And then for our like voice classes, we got a teacher in advance. We didn't have to like audition in
Mm-hmm.
that way either to find out like where like what we fit, like what teacher we fit singing wise, which was
Okay.
like really nice. And it
Is
also
that
like
for like private voice, or is
yeah,
that a
4 years
group?
of private voice.
Okay. And so
And
you have them all four?
yeah, you have the same teacher all 4 years. I
I
had
think that's
Jules Olson, and she literally changed my life. She's like all like the whole faculty, like they're such great like they're just such great professionals and such great like people. So it's almost like you're working with a friend and getting like the intense training that you need. Like they're there for you if you just need to talk, if you're not feeling up to singing that day, they're there for you like to make sure you know like what is going on inside your body while you're singing.
Mhm.
And my voice teacher, her name is Jules Olson. She left this year, so I'm gonna have a new voice teacher. I'm excited for that, but I'm gonna miss her so much.
Yeah.
Um
I think having the same teacher for 4 years is so nice because we have the same thing. Like once you
yeah,
get your voice teacher, unless you request to switch for any reason, you
right.
have them throughout your whole journey with AMDA. And it's just it's nice when all your other teachers are changing every year to have like one person who's consistent, who just really gets to know you, know your voice, and like where you're at.
Yeah, and I just love like going in there and because sometimes like college is tough. You have days where it's just like, okay, I need to go home, or I just need a day where I can like just be by myself and like just like collect all what's going on in my head. Like if I were to walk into my voice teacher's room, like she would immediately know. She's like, is something up? Do you want to talk? Do you not want to sing today? And like it would just be beneficial no matter what, which
Mm-hmm.
is just like so important because I feel like as artists you need days to clear your head with like someone who's an adult because you can only confide in friends like so much, and your parents aren't there like, and she was such like a motherly figure to me, and like I'm gonna miss her, but I'm so excited to see like who the next best fit is.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to those dance classes, do you have the opportunity to move up throughout the year, or is like could you move up halfway through the semester, or would you have to wait till the end of the year? How does that work in terms of
Yeah.
progressing through those
So
levels?
obviously with like course selections, like ours is done alphabetically. So like since I'm right in the middle, and like if I want to move up to jazz 2, but it's all full, like I can talk to the teacher and be like, hey, like do you think I can move up to jazz 2? Should I stay with jazz 1 for another semester? But yeah, like so let's say like I wanted to do jazz 1 half for the first half of the year, but then I wanted to move up or to like another level, I could talk to my teacher or I could just do that like based on what's available. Like it's all up to you, which I like really
That's so
love.
nice.
Mhm.
So do you have any type of like guidance person with Elon or specific to musical theater you have to run that by, or is it just talking to your teachers and if it works with your schedule, you're good to go?
Yeah, it's just talking with your teachers, and every teacher is super understanding. Like you can email them and they'll email you back within a few days. You can just like find them in whatever room they usually teach in and just like introduce yourself if you haven't had them, or talk to them. Like I had to do that with my ballet class because like I needed to take ballet this year, but like all the classes were filled. So I emailed Sarah and I was just like, hey, like do you mind overloading? And she was just like, yeah, just like clear it with like the head and then we'll figure it out. So it's super easy as long as the class isn't like 10 people overloaded. Like there shouldn't really be a problem with it. I don't know if they're doing that anymore because of Corona, but like yeah, that's
So
such
what
a
is your normal class size?
um. Well, jazz usually starts out it's like packed, or at least with like Nina Wheeler, who's like literally like will whip you like into shape, like drill sergeant. She's amazing. Um, so like her class usually starts out there's so many people, and then like over time it'll lessen, and like I don't know if it's like that with all class for ballet a couple people drops like there's always a chance that like people will drop and then more people will come in, but usually I
Okay.
want to say it's like 20 maybe 30 people a class. The only time I
Okay.
had more than like 20 or 30 people like between my core classes and like my musical theater classes was like my core classes, my stats class looked like there was about like 40 or 50 people in the room.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a lecture hall, it was like a regular classroom. I haven't had any in lecture halls yet. I don't even know if anyone has that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've never taken it.
So could like any other major take a jazz class with you guys, or do you have
Mhm.
to be okay, that's really interesting.
No,
So
yeah, there
what
actually
classes do
is
you
this
have that
girl. Oh
let me
wait,
know.
go ahead.
No, sorry. So what classes do you have that are just like your MT freshman group compared to which ones like anyone could jump in?
Music theory with Billy Summers. He's so funny and so fun, and make sure you understand the material. I love Billy. We had DMS with Deb Leamy, who's just phenomenal. I love taking her class. Oh my gosh, what else? What else? Oh, acting one, which you take with your music theater class. Majors, and then you also take it with the acting majors. It's split into two groups. So there's like some acting kids and some music theater kids in like a group, and then they'll split. It's just because like it's like just a way to like get to know
Mhm.
other people and like acting theater. Like, it's pretty much.
Yeah. Because Elon takes, is it like 16 to 20, you would say, each year for musical theater?
Yeah, there's 16 of us in my class, and I have to like recount how many new students there are for the incoming class, but I think it's about the same.
Okay.
And I think they take like more people, but just based on like who like is like, yes, I will come, or like who's just kind of like, oh, I have to wait a little bit. Um, I think it's like I want to say there was like 20 to 25 this year, and then like other people chose other schools and like other people like chose our school. So like it ends up being around like 16 to 20.
Yeah. That's awesome. And now can we transition to talking more about just like campus life? Because
Yeah.
I know like I have a bunch of friends at Elon who do Greek life. Do MT people do it? Do you not? Like, how do
Um
you guys kind of balance musical theater majors, but also just like enjoying everything that Elon has to offer?
Well, I think it just like depends on like the person. Like me personally, I don't like overloading my schedule with an already busy schedule because like typically I'll have like 3 to 4 classes a day. Plus, like if we have departmental that day, that might be the fourth or fifth class. So like I personally don't want to join a sorority, but like I have friends outside my major just because I chose to live like on East rather than like global where there was like a whole floor full of performing arts kids. Like each option I guess has like its pros and cons, but like it just like depends on you personally. I know a few people in sororities and they're able to balance out like their regular schedule and like being in a sorority. So it's just like whatever you feel that like best fits you as like a person. That
Yeah.
makes any sense.
I feel like it's nice that you have the option because you are at an amazing college, even totally separate from the musical theater program. So
Yeah, it's like just like super nice to just have like a bunch of options and opportunities that like the university gives to you like to make up for yourself. Like they don't tell you like you need to live here, you need to do this, you can't be in this, you can't like it is all up to you and like what you know you can handle and if you want to push yourself then like go for it, but like definitely don't like push yourself to the point where like you're breaking down every day, you don't know like how to manage your time. Like just like always do what you feel comfortable about and like also like push yourself at the same time but not too much.
yeah, because I think no matter what MT program you end up in, it does feel, at least personally, it felt like three majors with like the workload that you have. And it's such a transition from being in high school. Even if you were doing a lot of theater and performing in high school, it's just a whole different game. So
Oh
you
my
do
God.
have to like give yourself the time to like you said, challenge yourself and push yourself because you're in a hard major and you're going to be in a hard career, but also like you can't do what you need to do well if you're sick. Like you just can't sing your best if you're sick. You can't act if you can't dance your best and you're not going to grow as a dancer if your
That
body's
is
down.
so important in this major. Like literally you cannot function on 4 to 5 hours of sleep and if you can like props to you, but I can't sing. I can't dance. I'm like half awake. Like whenever I had to stay up late to finish a project because I just procrastinate so hard and trying to work on that. Like I wanted to literally die the next day because it was just so much. Like 8 a.m. ballet. That's what killed me this past semester.
Yeah, we had my first semester. It kind of depended on like what group you were in, but I was in the lucky group that had 8 a.m. dance every single day, and so like I was going to bed early because like I had to be up and at it.
No, yeah, and it's totally okay to not want to go out on like a Thursday or Friday. That's what I learned this year too. Like I don't have to do everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like other than that, like our parties are so fun and like we have like department parties and like you know that like everything's like typically very safe at our parties and then like there's different ones that you could go to after. Like we're partying till like 2, 3, 4, but like what college kid isn't? And then Sunday's recovery day. It's very
yeah, it's like I feel like you just have to like find the balance of definitely like going out and enjoying yourself, but then at the same time, you're probably not going to be that college kid who, like you said, is going out on a Tuesday. But,
yeah, no, I never did that. I think I went out like once on a weekday for someone's birthday, and that was it. And it was only for like a few hours too. So yeah, definitely like learning how to manage my time and what works for me is like something I learned my first year of college. And it was just like it's just nice that I learned that now rather than like later in my college career when I would like probably be like shit, like I should have done this, this, and this. But like you're always learning. Like my voice teacher says, like you're always arriving. Like you have to like just trust the process and trust that like everything really happens for a reason. Like that's like the number one thing just with the college process in general.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, it was so hard to just like put your future in like all these universities' hands and just like hope for the best. But like I think like or at least I think everyone just like finds their place no matter what by the end. And if you need to take a gap year, then like go for it. If you need to re-audition, like go for it. If you're happy where you are, go for it because like you will end up where you're meant to be. Like that's just it. Yeah.
It's an interesting balance of, like you said, you have to trust these universities and just kind of like trust fate in a sense, but also like kind of taking control of it and not just being like, oh, if I don't get in anywhere this year, like that's it, it's game over. Because like you said, there's amazing success stories of people who take gap years. Some people re-audition for 2 or even 3 years before they got into their dream school, which like sounds insane, but it does happen to
Yeah, and
people.
it was worth it, and they're happy. Like, as long as you're
Yeah,
happy where you are, that's like all that matters. Whether you're at a big name school, whether you're at like, I don't know, like a school that's not as well, like it doesn't matter as long as you're happy. As long, because like if I was at a school that like, yes, they have amazing training, but I'm not happy with this and the other thing, like, is it really worth it? No, it's not. Like, one of the questions I asked myself while I was going through, like, okay, where was I accepted, where was I waitlisted, where was I rejected, was like, is this a good program? Yes. Did I feel at home here? Yes. No. Did I like the people I was auditioning with? Can I like see myself trusting these people? Can I see myself living with these people and like going into the industry and like helping each other out, building each other up? And like if the answers to like the following questions were like any of them were the like it was just a no, like I was like I can't go here. And like there's just so many wonderful programs out there too. So like there were times where I find myself saying yes to like this school and then yes to another school, like just having a list of like yeses, and then I would be like confused, but then like you just gotta trust your gut that like I don't know, it was like a gut feeling about Elon, and I was just like everything is pointing me in this direction. I gotta go. Like
that's amazing. Yeah,
but yeah,
I
and
love
it's a beautiful campus too. Like it's like
it. It's really pretty.
oh my gosh, the sunsets like documented almost every day.
I love that. Going back to just like a quick list of questions, because I know these were big things that I always like to ask.
Sure.
So first is performance opportunities. Can you do shows as freshmen, and like how many shows do you guys have every year?
Um, there were 3 main stage plays and then 3 main stage musicals this year, and we're all required to audition for the plays and the musicals that are main stage. And then there's also Renegade Productions, which again, like anyone can audition for, but that's not main stage. They did Songs for a New World, and that was done in Jaeger Hall, and it was beautiful. Shia Oni from my class was man, oh my gosh, man 1 or 2. I don't remember. So phenomenal. We also have freshman showcase, and that was supposed to be in the spring at the end of the year, but unfortunately we didn't get a chance to do that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, it kind
Did
of
you do it online or anything like that, or?
we did like Kaylee Hayden like organized this whole like arrangement from Jagged Little Pill You Learn, which was gonna be our final song. And she like just like aligned all of our voices. We sent in videos of us like singing our parts, and she posted that. It was just like really nice and like heartwarming, and we were just like so like emo that like we didn't get to do this, but like we were thinking like, oh, maybe in the fall, but then we gotta like book space, and we don't know, like I don't know, Broadway said they're shut down in 2021, so I doubt. But
There's so much up in the air in terms of theaters and performing.
it's so scary too, but like it's gonna come back. Like it's so hard to keep up the hope.
Sure.
But, like we gotta keep up. We gotta keep our hopes up.
And
Um,
in like some ways it's kind of nice that we're in like a training phase that even though like right now we can't be in dance studios, like there is still so much you can do from home in terms of continuing dance or vocal or acting training. And
like even like YouTube. Like I started doing yoga during the quarantine. Like there's so many like yoga videos. Psych Truth, the best. They're like 20-25 minutes. You just feel so like cleansed and relaxed after. My jazz teacher sent us videos every week that we would do. And then for voice we did like FaceTime, and I thought it was just as beneficial. Like yeah, it's not the same as in person, but I still felt like I was improving, and like she was still able to tell me and like hear in my voice like what was going on. Like it really isn't the same, and it's difficult, but like at least we're like doing something rather than nothing.
no, I agree. I did FaceTime voice lessons, and as much as like I just wish I was in the studio with my teacher, they can still hear you. And even a couple times, for the most part, I'm like singing along with the track that they've sent me. But sometimes like they are plunking it out on the piano and I'm able to like sing along with them for a little bit, and that's so
Yeah.
nice.
And
So,
even with like warm-ups, like my teacher would like do a demo and then like play the note, and then I was able to go up and down. If I lost a note, I was easily able to hear it. Like it's definitely possible,
yeah.
and but like it isn't the same, and it like made me emo. We were in the studio.
Uh, so then, what does Elon offer for your seniors in terms of your showcase? Both like what's kind of the normal, and then maybe what did they do for quarantine since seniors couldn't really showcase?
Um, I don't want to say anything wrong, but they were supposed to have a showcase at 54 Below. They had their casting agency series like come in like while we were at school, and then I'm not too sure like what happened like once we were all home in
Yeah,
quarantine.
that's totally
Besides
fine.
that, like I don't know if anything was rescheduled or anything like that. It was so sad because the seniors are just like the most amazing people. Like everyone at Elon is just so like amazing, like as people and as performers. And like just like another reason why I was drawn to there, but like the seniors like literally were just such great examples for like just like all of the just like all of the students, and especially for my class, like just like having like the whole department just like to look up to in general. And they were super welcoming. We each have like mentor families. So my mentor, Maddie, was just like so good to me, and she would always like check in on me and text me, and like they were all like so busy too, and just the fact that they were able to make time and like show their appreciation to us, and we were able to show our appreciation for them was just like so special, and they just like they all deserve so much better. It's just like
Yeah,
so heartbreaking, so unbelievably talented. Like every single one of them are just like such magical people.
I bet. So what would be your final kind of piece of advice, or what makes Elon different for anyone who's looking to audition and really wants to go to Elon?
Be prepared to like feel at home and feel like it's just an audition like no other. Like it is so low stress, even though like you are probably stressing out about it. They try to make it like just like so they're just trying to make you feel so at home. Like that's why we have like students like helping out the auditions, as well as like the faculty like in the room. They'll walk you in, they'll like answer all your questions. And it's such a cliche, but literally everyone does this. Like it's the people that like really like makes us like stand like apart. Like you just like you could go up to someone you like have maybe said like 2 words to, or like they've like commented on your Insta post, and just talk to them like you've known them like your whole life. Things that like I didn't expect, or like that no one told me before I got into college, is just like be prepared to like question yourself and question your major almost like every day, and know that it's totally normal, and that like you just gotta trust the process. And like if you're uncomfortable, that's good, because that means that you're growing. And like no one told me that, and I would have like these like little like freakouts in my head, like why am I sounding like this? Like my like voice teacher like literally like broke me down and like build me back up again, but I had like such bad tendencies. I had like tongue tension, jaw tension, and like in that moment I was like, is this what my voice sounds like? And then like it got better like over time, and like back then I was like, is this supposed to be happening? But like, and like even now, like I have so much more like room to improve and so much more room to grow. And I know that like the next time I'm feeling uncomfortable, it's so normal, and it only means that in the long run, like I'm gonna get better. And as
And
like,
if I can add for a second,
go
that
ahead.
whole breaking you down to build you back up, I think is such a big metaphor for your first year at any MT program or theater
Absolutely.
program. Because I think, yeah, at times it can feel like, oh my gosh, like, did I suck this whole time? Like when they're nitpicking stuff. But
Literally,
that's not the case at all. Like we all go in and just have those tendencies and little things like you didn't even notice you
I
had.
had no
And
clue.
the
Like,
second you're like aware of them though, it's just a game changer. So
mm-hmm,
don't like, yeah, you it's not, it like is personal, but it's not, you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
like everyone goes through it, and it doesn't mean you're not talented or you don't belong to be there or anything like that. But I agree, in like every little aspect, there was a time where I felt like they kind of had to bring me down to square one to like build me back up again.
Absolutely. Literally, like with my voice teacher, I was like hanging upside down, releasing my neck tension and singing. I was like doing all these like crazy warm-ups and and it took me a while, but like something just like clicked. Like on random days, like I would get it. I would see like the veins popping out of my neck and be like, this isn't healthy. This isn't good. Like it took like my voice teacher was trying to get me to like realize it for so long, but she wanted me to figure it out like for myself. And once I did, like it didn't happen again. And like it's just like
That's another thing too, is like they want you to work through it. I found that a lot too, is like your teachers aren't just gonna hand you the keys and like tell you all the little secrets. Like you really have to find it for yourself.
You need to work for
That's
it.
the only way you're gonna really learn it and be able to implement it going forward.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think like stupid little things that I need. Oh, be careful with your money, because I had like a lot of money going into college, and then I would go to like, we don't have Stop and Shops down there. We have like Harris Teeter and stuff. I would go to Harris Teeter and be like, oh, I've never seen this like giant bag of Welch's fruit snacks, and like buy it. And like I was just making stupid purchases, and then like halfway through the year, if we didn't go home, I would have had like no money. So like I'm like at home like trying to work safely, of course, and like yeah, be so careful with your money. I had a little bit trouble just like opening up to people at first, just because like I feel like in high school everyone's just like, I can only trust the theater kids, I can only trust to like one or two people. But like no, these are your people, and like unless they give you a reason not to trust them, like be open and be there, and like focus on yourself but also care for others. Not that like I didn't care for anybody else, but like I was always like, oh, but I need to do this and the other thing. But like I gave myself breaks like kind of like throughout the year once I was like comfortable at the school and comfortable like with myself at the school. I think I just said that, but it's fine. Anyway, when I was like comfortable with myself at school, I started to like just like open up to people more and relax a little more. Like it's totally normal to have that like first like few week tension, but like just know it'll like go away and things will settle down, and like you will like get to know yourself and your class like all throughout your college experience. And like yeah, just like be willing to open yourself up, because at first I was just kind of like quiet, like nervous, scared of school, miss my family, which is all normal. But like it's just like finding this stuff out is just like so important.
No, you're so fine. I think that's such good advice.
So yeah, I think that's like all I can think of right now. But if I
That's awesome.
come up with anything else, I'll like just text you and be like, I forgot this and this and this and this.
And then you'll cut to me doing a little insert. Jackie's final notes.
Jackie forgot to say.
No, but this was so useful. I feel like we covered a lot of different stuff.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
for anyone who's looking at Elon, we'll leave it with a good luck. That's how I've been ending my videos. Just
Yes. And if
like,
anyone's auditioning next year, like text Colleen, text me, like
yes, reach out. I can definitely get you guys in touch with Jackie if you have any further questions.